Hey there, Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. And this week's podcast episode, we're talking about a couple UFOs, a couple FOs, some books, and yarn. So stay tuned. Hey there, Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. I'm drinking my tea. Okay, so the tea has cooled down a little bit, but I got this mug from David's Tea, the one I've been talking to you about. No affiliation. It's Sweetheart Tea. Can you guys see that? Oh, it's like this red. Let's see if I can do that. You can't see it. Just me. It's beautiful. It's okay. This tea has like raisins and dried carrots and candies in it. And I was like, really? It's so good. But when this mug gets hot, it's called the Northern Lights mug, and it actually turns into like the Northern Lights. The next time I'm drinking tea and it's hot, I'll show you. It's really cool. Anyways, welcome to this week's channel. This week's podcast. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're staying warm. Weather is kind of, I don't know. It doesn't really know what it wants to do. It's like, it's getting warm and then it like doesn't. And I don't know. Anyways, so I got works in progress. I've got some finished objects and I got some exciting ideas too. So just wanted to, bring you up to speed on what I got going on. First things first, let's talk about my finished object. Super happy with the way this turned out. Hold on. I'm going to show you right now. Yay! Here we go. All right, so this is probably my very first official finished knitted sweater. I've done scarves and hats and stuff like this, but this guy is my first official knitted sweater. Got it matched up down the sides. Really happy about that. That was a little tricky, but I did a pretty good job. The sleeves, they don't match up because I just couldn't, but they do match up with each other. If you look at the sleeves, like these guys match. And then, so I'm actually super happy with this. It's a raglan sleeve, and I kind of made it a little bit more of a boat neck up here. This was using that Noro yarn, that really bluesy Kenzashi yarn. This took 5 skeins and a lot of time to do this. This was about a month, and it was like crocheting, usually like 4 or about 4 hours every night. So it took a little bit of time, but I'm super, super happy with it. It's really warm, super fluffy, and I'm digging it. Now I had 5 skeins of this particular colorway, and I'm so happy because that's all I had. And when I tell you, like, I was playing chicken with the yarn at the end. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, is it enough? Is it enough? Is it enough? It was awesome. Now I do have another like 6 or 7 skeins of this, but they're all different mix and match colors. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I was very happy that I was able to get this one and get all the colors in it. And I absolutely love it. I thought, what the heck? I'm going to bring over all the yarns. So this is what I've got here. I have like 3 skeins of this color. These don't really stick very well. A lot of the blues and greens and some purples. So these colors go together. And I think this one, no, that doesn't fit in there. So it might just be these 2 that are like this. And again, this is 30% mohair, 30% silk, 23% wool, 14% viscose, and 2% polyamide. But this is what the skeins look like. I had 5 of these, so I'm glad because this was my favorite, and it was the only one that I had 5 colors of it. So I got like 2 of these. Then I've got, I think these are the same. So I got like 2 of these. It probably says here on the colorway. Color lot 10. Oh, color lot 11. Color lot 13. Color lot 13. So these 2 definitely go together. This is a color lot 15. These 2 go together. These are both 15s. So those go together. This is a 10. This is an 11. And this is totally different. This is a 16. So these guys are 3 individuals, but they could they could all go together, and I could make another sweater if I really wanted to. Like, it would be these 4 and this if I wanted to make another sweater, and then I'd still have 2 of these because I still have all of this. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I got this from Little Knits, that online company out of Seattle. They only do online. I actually really enjoyed knitting with this. Some people were like, oh, it's really hard. I will tell you, it is a bugger. It is a life sentence if you have to frog it out. Like, forget frogging it because of these little nibbly things. And just cut it off and say sayonara, sister. But I liked it. I was like, knitting with it was actually really, really easy. And then to do the seams, I didn't use this because it was just, it was no bueno pulling it through. So I just had a Noro yarn DK. It might have been like a silk garden or something like that. So it had a little bit of that rough nubbing. And that's what I used to do just a mattress stitch to sew together the seams, to sew together the arms down the sides. So the arms are one panel. So I did 2 arms and then a front and a back, and you sewed those together. And then I kind of connected the sleeves just up to the top, right about to here. And then I finished out the skein that I had and just kept knitting in a circle with this. So it kind of folds in. I think they might have had it up a little bit higher around the neck, but I'm kind of glad that it sort of sits like this. I kind of like a little bit of the off the shoulder going on there. And I just knitted around and around and around. And I did a couple little decreases here on the sides to bring it in a little bit, but I like the way that it kind of just sits right here on the neck. I think that's comfortable for me. And this can tuck in. I could pull it out if I wanted to. I could kind of do whatever I wanted to do here. But I love it. You guys like it? So for those of you like, do you really knit? I'm like, yeah, I do. I knit. It just takes a really long time, but I'm actually doing some more knitting. I'm super excited. I've got another one that now I can focus on. It's that paint box yarn, the Tequila Sunrise. It's more of just like a summer light and airy top that's going to go on our next cruise. Got some big travel plans coming up too. This tea, you guys, so stinking good. So good. So I'm going to finish that sweater. And I got to figure out something to do with these guys. But I'm going to give these guys a break. I'm going to move on to another yarn. I'm super excited to show you what I got going on. I will come back and visit these guys, but not right now. Okay. So I'm going to keep working on the paint box, the Tequila Sunrise. I'll bring you that one next week so you guys can see how far I've gotten on that. I just haven't really done a lot with it. But you all remember that I was talking about the We Crochet, the bulk DK, their swish yarn. Loved it. And I got all those colors and I'm like, these are not my colors at all. What am I going to do with these? So I went ahead and I balled them all up on Friday. And I don't know about you, I hate winding yarn. It is just one of my I hate doing gauge swatches. Hate it. Wish there was a way I could get outside of it, but there really isn't. And I just hate winding balls. I just do. It's like, it never ends up well for me. Anyways, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to set it all up on Friday. I'm going to get some balls done. I wound this stuff and 2 skeins that I got from Oh Fire Crochet. Beautiful. That birthday, kind of the speckly stuff. I think that's a fingering weight. I think it is. Anyway, so I did them all at once. I'm like, as long as it's all out here and I got it set up, I'm going to do a bunch at once. And in addition to it, I ran these guys. So these are all from We Crochet. This one, don't ask me what happened here. It ended up in a ball, but don't ask what happened. It got wound. So this was called Allspice, this one here. And one of these is called, I think, Heathered Garnet. This is sort of like a marigold yellow. This was sort of like an oatmeal color. All the little tags are down inside. This one I remember was called Serrano. So check out these colors I'm showing you here. And I was like, I love all these. What am I going to do? Do I really want to do another striped sweater? I don't know. I'm not really sure if that's where my head is at. I was like, all right, this is going to make, and this is a bulky, and I don't really have any other bulkies. So I figured I'm going to have to do these all together with something, right? All these colors. What am I going to do? Looking at striped sweaters, scouring Pinterest. And I was like, all right, what am I going to do with this? And lo and behold, boom, it popped up. This Harry Styles patchwork cardigan. And I'm like, and it blew up all over the internet. And I was like, dude, I can do that. This is the sweater. Is that not awesome? Like, check that out. I started scouring the internet. Now, this is a knit pattern. So it kind of looks like that. So much fun. I was like, okay. So this is actually done in knit, but I can very easily translate this over to crochet. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it in knit. Well, I say I think. I'm going to say yes because I've already started. But what's really cool is it's like each square that you do is only 18 centimeters, like 18 stitches across 18. So it's super fast, works up super, super fast. Look, I already made a little mistake right here, but I don't even hate it. Like, it's funky and each block is a little bit different. So I'm just going to keep it in there as a design element. All I did was I did the moss stitch here and then I started knitting and purling technically the right way. And then that's how I got this little piece here. And then this piece up here is just like a double moss stitch. So each block is a little bit different, which is great because it teaches you the techniques. I was able to find the pattern maker, J.W. Anderson, on this. And I actually, not only, because I was just going to look at it and try to figure it out, but I was actually able to find the pattern and it's free. It's free out there on the internet, on the great World Wide Web. So I'm just going to follow along with this. I didn't have any black, but I was like, I don't care. I don't want any black. That's fine. I don't have it. So I'm using the oatmeal instead of the black. But other than that, pretty much all the colors. They had Serrano. I'm using the Serrano, the burnt orange. I was like, dude, this was meant to be. Like, all these colors I pretty much have here. So I'm going to make this patchwork sweater, and I am going to do a tutorial as I do this. And I'm going to show you the stitches in knit, but I'm also going to say you can do this same block in crochet and it's going to look similar. So I'm going to be able to translate it over and I'm going to show you so you can make this either in knit and or crochet. So I'm actually excited about this, and then hopefully you guys might find it interesting as well. So, but doing this in knit is not going to be a problem, but doing it in crochet could be kind of interesting. So I'm going to show you like, hey, if you like this, do this stitch in crochet for this block. So this is the Harry Styles cardigan, and you're going to be seeing a lot of this one. So let me show you what happened. So my son and his girlfriend are down for the weekend. We're happen to be babysitting this cutie. And I made her a cute little dog sweater. She's a little sad right now because they just left to go have lunch with some friends and they're going to come back, but she thinks that they've deserted her. This is Rooney. This is the sweater that I made for Rooney. This is a recycled cashmere cardigan, or actually it was just a sweater that I found at a Goodwill store. And I went ahead and I just cut it in pieces, and then I added a little bit of trim up here around it, and then I found these cute little patches on Amazon and just, yes, I know, and you like your sweater, don't you? That's right, that's what I did there. Okay, so the next thing, the Brit, as you know, is my editor-in-chief, and he's doing a great job, isn't he? You should all give him like a big round of applause. He's doing an amazing job, adding a little bit of his creativity to the whole process. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to treat him. And he's been very, very encouraging lately of the projects that I've been cranking out. He loved this sweater. He loved the granny square, the cardigan with the fur. That was a big hit. The other big granny square sweater that I did, and the Starry Night. He loved those. And I was like, I've never, ever crocheted or knitted him anything. Not even a tea cozy, for heaven's sakes. And the man is British. Like, that should have been a gimme. And I didn't. I've done it for other people, but not for him. He's like, oh, I really don't like anything. However, I found this book. Now, this is an older book. I just found it on Amazon, but the book was made in like 2014, something along those lines, quite a while ago. But Stitch and Bitch is a great company. This woman does crochet and knit. Her name is Debbie Stoller. I had one of her Stitch and Bitch knit books, and I found this one, Knit and Crochet for Men. So I was sitting charging my car the other day, and I went through this, and I was like, all right, I'm going to find some patterns that would be kind of cool to do, and I'm going to let him take a look at them. So like this one here is a newsboy cap. So again, if you're like, you know, you don't really want to get into knitting, but you want to give something a try, then, you know, this has crochet as well as knit. And the patterns look pretty easy. She's not using any crazy. This one is a beer glove that has a little bit of a ribbing here in the center, so it'll help them to get some grip on their beer bottles. This is a very daunting, I don't know if I'm quite ready for this. It's some kind of a really interesting cable, but that one was sort of interesting. But I'll show you what I am going to end up doing. And I did order some yarns. I'm going to make him this one. It's called Cobra, and it's just a nice pullover with a little bit of a zippered collar. And this is using a nice alpaca. I can do this in either knit or crochet. So I'm excited about that. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I think I'm going to do it in crochet because I just got to give myself a little bit of a knit break, except for that Harry Styles one that I'm doing. This is in crochet right here. And they're really cool patterns. So I'll include the link. I mean, I just got it on Amazon, and it is an older book, so it should be something that you can find somewhere. This one I thought was pretty cool too. He thought that was a little, out there for him. I was like, out there? Come on, we know each other well enough. This one's beautiful. You got like that professor guy in your life. Who doesn't love a man? I mean, he kind of gives me a Lenny Kravitz vibe, which I'm digging on. Where's on the other ones? Oh, like this one. This one's pretty cool too. So some really, really cute patterns in here. And I thought, I can do these. I can absolutely do these. This is a little outside my realm right now. The Gatsby. It's a little more than I think I'm able to commit to. Oh, actually, it's crochet. So maybe not. I can probably do that. Maybe I'll have to take a second look at that one. I literally went through, and then they have these cute little like pillows that you can make. But it's one of the best books that I have found for men's sweaters that are hip and have some really cool different designs. So it's called Son of a Stitchin' Bitch, 45 projects that you can knit and or crochet for men. And yeah, so I thought this was really cool. The other thing that I got was from Lion's Brand, and this is 2 simple shapes. So everything in here is crochet cardigans and tops and sweaters using either a square or a rectangle. And they had some really cute designs in here as well. I mean, like that is super, super simple. So I'll give you the link for this one as well. But I found this falling leaf scarf. I've seen this in a lot of places. I thought that's really, really pretty. So while I was charging my car, sitting in the parking lot, having a little bit of downtime, me time, I decided to go through these 2 books. I've got another one from Stitchin' Bitch. It's arriving today, so I'll have to send you a picture or show you that when it finally comes through. But this one looked really, even this is Heartland Poncho. So it's using all the Lion Brand yarns, and which that we love, and we have a lot of it. So I expect to be using some of the Schitt's Creek in here. I hope you guys saw the video that I did on the difference between Schitt's Creek and the basic stitch. It's the same thing. Same thing. I actually sent another email to Mr. Blumenthal, and I was like, all right, Mr. Blumenthal, I get where you're coming from. I get what you're laying down. I see what you're doing here. It's the same stuff, except the quantities are different. But I included a link to the letter video that I did, and also to the difference between the 2, just so he could see, like what's out there. If maybe he doesn't have his finger on the pulse of all the social media that's out there, but I wanted to let him know. But I'm definitely gonna be doing some stuff in here because I've got a lot of Lion's Brand. Doesn't mean I can't get any more though. This one I thought was super pretty. So I was excited about this book. I was like, I need a little bit of inspiration. Do I have a lot of books? Yeah. I have a lot of books. I have 2 bookshelves. But I was like this is just a nice basic cardigan. And I'm excited about this. So this one is called 2 Simple Shapes. 26 crochet cardigans, tops, and sweaters that you make from either triangles or squares. That's it. And then this guy here, Son of a Stitchin' Bitch. So I'm excited about these guys. You're going to be seeing a lot of projects coming out of there. While I was looking for yarns, I've been digging into my stash. So pulling up some new stuff and then digging into some old stuff. I found this project here that I started, and I was like, I don't hate this. Now, this whip has to be 5 years old. I think I was going to make a skirt or something out of this. So remember a few episodes back, I showed you my stash over here up on the wall that had some really funky yarns. This guy right here. This is by a company called, it's Rockstar, but it's an Italian yarn line. Munich Mensch Yarns is where this is from. Could not even tell you where I found it. I tried to find more of it. No clue. No clue whatsoever. And then I had this yarn here that I did find some complementing skeins. I had to go to eBay to find it. Like, this stuff is zip, zip, gone, nowhere to be found ever, ever again. But I was like, gosh, you know what? I don't hate what's happening here. It is in 2 panels. So I'm like, do I want to take it all out? It's actually one continuous thing here. And so I'm thinking about this. I'm like, this could be a really cute, like a boxy little cardigan with the really soft and the fuzz and whatever else. So I'm going to finish this somehow. Don't really know, but I like how the colors are. Like, here you can see the little threads are coming through. On this side here, you can kind of see, but I like how these are working up together quite a bit. So I don't think I'm going to take it out unless I'm just like, I don't know what the heck to do with it. And I don't think I would wear it as a skirt. That's just not me. But I have the rest of this skein here, and I'm just double stranding it. And then I have this guy, and I've got one more of this and a whole mess of this. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 of this guy. What the heck? I don't know what I was thinking. 14 of this. But I've only got, like 2.5 of these. So whatever I make is going to have to be kind of small. But yeah. Now, it's funny that these guys didn't come together, and yet when you put them together, don't they look like they go to, it's got the oranges, it's got the blacks, the greens, the limes, it's got everything coming together. But from everything I can see, it's a different company. It's a totally different company. I cannot find a yarn tag for this yarn. The mystery. It's going to be like a mystery cardigan. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be the mystery cardigan. Maybe like a boxy jacket that's going to hit like right at the hips or something. Where I got it? Dunno. Couldn't tell you. Who makes it? Got no clue. It just landed on me. Some alien from another planet said, this woman likes yarn. Let's just plunk it in her front yard. I think that's probably what happened, because otherwise I couldn't even tell you. Couldn't tell you what I've got, except I do like them going together. I do like the double stranding. Some kind of epiphany that I had, probably. I don't know. Anyhow, that's all the fun, exciting stuff that I have for this week. Not too much to show you. I don't have any yarn hauls to show you yet, but I am getting some stuff in from We Crochet for the Brits sweater that I'm going to start making. And I might be doing a little bit more some Lion Brand shopping, since me and Mr. Blumenthal seem to have a nice little cozy relationship. As far as like yarn goes, yarn being cozy, that's really about it. But I'm just booking through my whips. Like, I have a sweater going on. I have this new one I'm starting, the Harry Styles sweater. So I got 2 sweaters and an Afghan going along, and that's it. I need to get some more whips going along. I need to get through some of these yarns that I got from Michaels, the Premier, the Cinnamon Twists. So you're going to see those coming through soon, because I want to see how they work up, and I don't want to get distracted with other things. But it's kind of fun when you're going through your stash and you're trying to find something, and it's sort of like you find an old blouse that you haven't seen in a really long time, or maybe the matching sock, the missing sock to the match that you really love the socks and you can't find it. That's kind of what happened with this guy. Like, I was like, whoa, I don't hate that. That's kind of cool. So, yeah, it was kind of fun and exciting. And my son and his girlfriend were down here this weekend, and they were helping me going through ideas and picking out celebrity pictures and different stuff like that of celebrity crocheters and knitters and ideas. And I came across the Harry Styles, but they were like, yeah, that's awesome. And being that I'm in my 50s and they are in their 20s and 30s, I thought, well, they probably know a little bit better than I do with like fashion sense and things like that. I don't know. I think I'm pretty hip and cool. We shall see. So that's all I got for you this week. But I got a lot more coming up. I'm going to start the tutorials on this Harry Styles cardigan. I'm going to do that probably in a couple different segments, so you can see how that's going along. This guy is finished. Let me know what you think. Put a like in there, like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and tell your friends about it too, because that's how you're going to get all the notifications for all the cool and fun stuff that I'm doing. And shocking, y'all loved all the crazy, wacky gadgets that I had for knitting and crocheting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check that out here. This was one of my most recent tutorials on just different hacks that you can use to be more comfortable when you're knitting and or crocheting, and to kind of up your game a little bit. So who knows? All right. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon.